Hello friends. So now we are going to see how to use a scicos for calling a user-defined function. So in this particular, we specifically define one function in a Scilab and we call that particular function in a scicos block diagram. Okay. So for opening of a scicos, I have to simply click on the editor button in a menu bar present, or I simply write a editor in a command prompt. So the purpose of opening editor is to write a function body. So you can see write editor over here, and this side note window is now opening. Here I am creating a function body which is start with a name of a function. So in the output argument I am simply passing y and writing a name of a function as qubit, and the input argument is passed in a parenthesis. So p is an input argument and y is an output argument. Now in function body, I am simply writing y equals to p q. So this particular operation is performing a cubic operation in a input argument. So I am saving this particular file with the name of a function. So let us suppose in save as I am simply saving a file qubit.sci. So this way I have simply created one function. Now I am opening a Xcos where I am using this particular function body. So for opening Xcos, I can simply press this particular symbol present over here in a menu bar, or I simply write Xcos in the command prompt. So you can see we have, okay, so in these two windows I am first finding a user defined function which is available in palette, and in this particular user defined function I am specifically looking for a scifunc block. This scifunc block is used for calling a user defined function present in a scinote window. So for modification of the parameter of scifunc, I simply double click on the block and just modify the value of input and output port as required. So for now we have only one output argument and one input argument in the function. So we require one input port and one output port. So I am not modifying these values because it is similar to the functions defined there in scinote. Simply click on OK. Then in this particular window we have to write a name of a function. So the name of function we use is qubit. So I simply write qubit function over here, and y1 is showing the output argument, similarly u1 is showing the input argument. And then we have these type of windows in which I have to simply click on OK. So you can see the changes we have made is now visible in this particular block. Now we are providing some input. So in source I am finding a generate sinusoidal waveform, and then in the output we require a C-scope block. Since it is an event driven block, so I require a clock cycle to instantiate the working of this particular block, which I have found in source, and clock C is the name of this particular block. So I simply drag and drop all the blocks required to run a simulation, and I am simply making a connection in such a way. Next step is to modify the parameters of our individual blocks. So for modifying the parameter of this generate sinusoidal wave, I simply double click on that, and just you can see we have amplitude and frequency over here, and phase is 0. So I am making it to a default value. I am not modifying all parameters over here in generate sinusoidal wave. So the by default amplitude is 1 and frequency is also 1. Next, in the cscope block, double clicking on that, you can see we have a value of y varying from -15 to 15, and we have defined the value of sinusoidal wave as amplitude 1, so its value will vary from -1 to 1. So for proper visualization, I am making it to -2 to 2 only. And we also modify the refresh period to 30, and we are remembering this particular value because it is required to modify in a simulation setup. Next, you can see we have a clock, and I double click on that, and the initialization time I am making it to 0. And in the final, in simulation we found a setup, and in the setup final integration time should be similar to a refresh period, and we have modified the value of refresh period to 13, which we have inserted over here in final integration time. So all these are the changes we have made for starting a simulation. So now this is a block diagram, and we have modified all the values of our blocks. So I simply click on run button. As you can see, simulation is in progress, and we have found one error. So this error we have found because we have not executed a function body. So first, what we have to do, we have to execute this particular function which we have written in a Synode file. So the name of function is qubit.sci, and I have simply execute this function either by pressing a execute or present over here in a toolbar and just click on save and execute, or I can simply click on this particular symbol present over here in a menu bar. So as I press this particular symbol, you can see in the command prompt we have a notification showing exec, which is a name of exec keyword, which we have already discussed in function lectures, how to execute a specific function, and we have got a value -1, which shows there is no error in function body. Now again we are going to run this particular block diagram, and now it will run smoothly. So again I have clicked on this symbol, and we got a simulation in process, and then we got this particular graph in a graphic window, which is specifically showing the cubic of sinusoidal wave, because in input we have provided a sinusoidal, so the cube of sinusoidal is calculated over here in the output of this particular block, and which is replicated over here in a cscope. So you can see it is very simple to get a user defined function in a SciCos. Now suppose if I want to check the input values with this particular graphic window, I mean to say we want to have a multiple plot in this particular graphic window where we have a input and output both present. So for getting the values of input and output, we require a multiplexing operation. So let me first delete this particular link, and in the palette I am finding a multiplexer. So multiplexer can be found in signal routing palette, and in signal routing you can see we have a mux operation over here. So I am simply drag and drop the mux, and now making the connection with multiplexer. So as you can see, I have simply making a connection with all the ports which I want to represent in this cscope block. Okay, so right now this particular block diagram is looking very nasty, and I want to optimize all the links. So simply I am click on Ctrl+A to select all the connections and all the blocks and all the links present over here in this particular editor. Then clicking on format and link style, I just select the optimal, so that all the link is now looking very clearer and quite observable. So this way I can simply make a modification Now I am saving this particular file with a name xcos user defined 1, and you can see the name of extension is .zcos. So on saving the file, we have a name of file as xcos underscore user defined 1 and the extension is zcos for a xcos file. Now I am starting a simulation for this block diagram. You can see we have a multiple plots in a graphic window in which this green curve is representing a input and the black curve is representing a output of a user defined function. Okay, so this way we can easily perform a multiple plots using a scicos. Now in the next segment we are checking the performance, how we can define a multiple output and input parameters in a function. So for that, first I am modifying the function body. In a function body, I am simply creating two output arguments and passing two input arguments in a qubit function. So as we have already know, so now we are modifying the output arguments as y comma z and input argument as p comma q. And now modifying the function body as q minus pq, and in output I simply write 0.5 multiplier p. Okay, so this way I have modified the function body over here. I simply save this particular function and execute the function. On execution you can see we have executed satisfactorily. Now we are modifying the block diagram. So for block diagram modification, I again double click on this particular scicos function, and now as you can see we have added one extra port in the output and one extra parameter in the input. So we want to add one extra port over here in this particular block in the input and one extra port in the output. So for that I simply type a semicolon over here and then 1 comma 1 in the input port size. Likewise in output port size I simply click on semicolon then 1 comma 1. So this way I add one extra input port and one extra output port. Next, in a function body we know we have a two output ports and two input ports. So the output arguments I write in a square bracket. So y1 comma y2 are the two output ports and then u1 comma u2 are the two input ports. And then we again have these three windows which we have to simply click OK. So you can see we have added one extra input and output port over here. Okay. So let us suppose in this particular extra input port I am providing a value, I am providing a constant value. So I have simply dragged a constant value over here and make a connection with this particular constant value. And now as you can see we have one extra port over here and we want to analyze all the three waveforms. That means this and this particular waveform in the C-scope block. So I have to modify the parameter of the multiplexers also. Okay, so I double click on that and make a modification to 3. Okay, so number of inputs right now is 3, and now I am making a connection of this particular output port to this particular segment. Again this graph is looking very nasty and I want to correct it. Let me first delete this particular way. Okay, and I am making it connect with this and this. Okay, and now I am selecting all the block diagrams and connection over here by pressing Ctrl A, then click on format, and then in link style I find the optimal and just click on that. So you can see all the connections are now looking very clear to us, and now we can start simulating this particular block diagram. So I am pressing this button for start simulating. So first I again want to define you the parameters. So in input, as we have pass input parameter as p. So in p we have a sinusoidal generation, and in q we have pass a constant value 1. So this particular y1 is calculating p minus q minus p cube operation, and this particular will save the value as 0.5 times of p, which we have defined in a function body, and this is simple a signal generator, and these particular value we have multiplexed and provided to a C scope for proper observation. So again I am start simulating. So simulation is in progress, and now you can see over here in this graphic window we have 3 plots, in which this particular red block, a red plot is actual sinusoidal wave which we have passed to this particular block diagram, and then in the green we have a output which is nothing but a half of the value of this red plot, and then we have a y1 which is a q minus p cube operation, which is output of q minus p cube operation. So as you can see, it is very simple to get all the waveforms in the Psycos, and we can easily use a user defined function in a Psycos. So for suppose if we have some application in which we have a lots of analytical equation, so we can easily provide a user defined or a specific input to a user defined functions, where we can write all those equations, and then we can analyze the result of all those equations. So XCOS is very important and significant tool for scientific computation point of view.